Hey everybody, what's up? So, I did a review of a 2007 movie called The Signal. If you've not seen this movie, I would recommend probably not watching this because I'm going to kind of give some spoilers in here because there was something I was thinking about. So, in The Signal, sorry if I have to drink something, my throat's a little raw today. One of the things is they talk about how television, cell phones, seems like radios are impacted, right? Here's the kicker. Nobody, except for one scene, you don't see this, and this is what blew my mind. Nobody talks about computers in the entire movie. It's funny because when Clark and Ben are talking in Clark's little shed, whatever area, he has a computer. I was thinking, it didn't dawn on me at first. But I got thinking, why has nobody tried the internet? Why is there only one scene? One scene with a computer? Kind of, made me stop and think. Because in 2007, computers would have been around, and a lot more internet is more, accessible back then, even today. So I found that kind of weird. And then this kind of got me thinking about something else. So there are parts of the movie where there's these hallucinations, like when Ben's beating Lewis with Lewis's can of bug spray. He basically we see this like image, and we don't know if it's Clark or Ben who's imagining it, but it looks like Lewis's head is just smashed in, and it cuts to this scene where it's not. So you really have to start wondering what is a hallucination, what isn't, because we only really see hallucinations from the side of Lewis, Ben, Maya. I can't remember the other guy's name. He gets decapitated, and I don't remember where I put the movie, and I can't think of it right now. It's going to piss me off. But there's another character. I don't know. I don't think it was Tom, because there's two guys in the apartment. When Maya got back home, one of them got beat to death with a baseball bat. Why? I'm going to have to look it up here in a moment. So anyways, while I'm getting that pulled up. So it seems like we only see the hallucinations from set people. And even when Lewis goes to track down Maya, there's the couple holding the party, the wife is basically having hallucinations, and we don't know because, like, they kill someone, or they think they did, and their foot is twitching, and so, like, Lewis goes, oh, she came back to life. Like, how? Oh, the TV doesn't. The TV does not have the power to raise the dead. It just doesn't make sense. And that's not it. Oh, wait, I typed in the wrong movie. Yeah. So, moving on. Because I'm trying to remember, and like I said, I don't have all my information in front of me. I was trying to do this off the top of my head, and I wish I hadn't. Apparently you can watch this for $3.99 on Amazon if you live here in the States. So yeah, you can check it out that way if you want. Rod. That's the guy's name, Rod. And so there's Rod. Okay, Rod, we don't see hallucinations from. He's going, do you have the crazies? Do you have the crazies? I'm like, stop saying it, stop saying it. And so, yeah, it's It's messed up. It really is. Anna, that's the woman's name. Anna is the wife who basically starts, this one guy who starts having these hallucinations that her husband's come back from the dead. Ben sees Anna as Maya, like, get your hands off my wife and all this other shit. Well, here's the thing. What if, just hear me out on this, right? What if this is like a convoluted dream taking place in Maya's head? Now hear me out on this. There's actually a reason why I'm saying this. So the limit of characters that we see would basically almost be like maybe people that she would interact with on a daily basis. What could the signal be? Maybe the signal is, in a sense, like terminology for mental illness. And here's why I think this. In the end of the movie, as anyone who's watched it will know, there's kind of two weird things that go on. The first is that Ben gets Lewis to commit suicide. He frees Maya. They explies. Clark goes off one way. Maya and Ben wind up in the store, start get going at it. They're on a train, all this other stuff. And it's this bizarre situation because she wakes up and Ben puts the headphones over her ears and the music starts playing. You see a tear roll down her cheek. And when they find her, she's strapped to a wheelchair. And she's got this glazed look on her face. It doesn't make sense. Because anyone who looks at the TV, hears the signal, whatever, they start going batshit crazy. Pardon my language here, but hear me out. And at one point, Lewis goes, she looks like the way she did on our wedding day. And you're thinking, well, yeah, because you're kind of an ass. But it really makes you start to wonder, is Maya imagining all of this? Is she having some sort of mental breakdown, psychotic breakdown, whatever? Because there's a scene where Clark and Ben run across her, her face is melted off. And we know that Lewis used the insect spray on Anna and it melted her face. And that doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. Because that's got to be some strong stuff. And I don't know. I've never heard of insect, pest control spray or whatever melting a face. But I could be wrong. That'd be some serious acid, wouldn't it? It's weird. So the only thing we see them trying to communicate over is cell phones. Well, why aren't you using the internet? And so I start wondering, okay, is there a possibility this is in her head because of the way the film ends? Basically, Terminus, if you look up the term, one of it is basically start and last origin. Let me try to get the exact meaning pulled up here. Sorry, I should have been better at this. Okay, terminal train station or terminus, a railroad station serving as an end destination. Bus terminus, a bus station serving as an end destination. So what we see here is basically the city's called Terminus. Well, why Terminus? Why not something else? Okay, it is also the original name of Atlanta, Georgia. It's also the name, apparently, of the main. There's a railroad. Yeah, I don't get it. But yeah. Here we go. That's what I was looking for. Terminus. The end of, or extremity of anything, either end of a railroad, bridge, a station or town at the end of a railroad, railway, or bus route. The point where which anything tends goal or end, a boundary or limit, a boundary post or stone. So basically, everything set up in the movie entirely takes place in Terminus City. It kind of makes sense in the budget of the movie, but it's almost like Terminus is the endpoint for Maya. Maya has to get out of Terminus City. The only way to do that is by this train station. And what's the only way out of a mental facility? To get yourself better, to get yourself into this place where everything's right. You know, maybe Ben represents this person that she knew that was the same place, or he could be a real person. And when he goes into the this hospital, whatever, to see her, and he puts the earphones on her, it kind of starts bringing her out of her shell. That basically she's been in this breakdown that there's really been no way to get herself out of it. And the signal really is her body sending these signals of you're having this breakdown, from her brain, that you're having this breakdown and everything else. Because all the hallucinations don't make sense. I understand the signal is supposed to play in certain things, but one of the things is Clark puts on a tinfoil helmet. The tinfoil helmet is one of the standard things that's supposed to block stuff from going to your mind. But, it still doesn't add up. The other thing is how Ben says to Lewis, look, I'm her husband. I'm all this stuff, which causes Lewis to commit suicide. So Lewis could represent the side of her that has to be in control, that's controlling her thoughts, everything else, trying to hold on to her. We all have that person we know in our lives that tries to do this stuff, and ultimately, sorry, somebody sent me a message. I'm trying to, reply to this message, and the other thing is I really shouldn't do that. But yeah, so basically, maybe Lewis is somebody she had was stalking her, something like that thought they were in a relationship, and ultimately Ben manages to break the cycle because Ben is her safety net. Throughout this entire thing, she wants to be with Ben. She's willing to drive her car in a dumpster. But how does she know what happens to everybody else? That's the thing. With hallucinations, you can still see people and things that aren't there. It's like Lewis pictures Ben sitting next to him. And even though Jim Parsons, the neighbor's talking about certain things, Lewis is imagining these things. Like basically Lewis thinks that she's his all the way, but maybe she's not. The pest control aspect of it really could be that Ben tries to basically Lewis is trying to destroy certain things in her life. Like, you hear stalkers do or obsessed people where they try to cut people out of your life. And I really think, sorry, somebody sent me a message. I'm going to have to respond to it here in a moment because apparently I'm being mean. If you're watching, you know who you are. And so, yeah, that's what I think, because when you only have access to the signal, the one thing that blocks, everything out to her is the headphones, the music, which represent Ben's love to her. When she doesn't have those headphones, the music, and she doesn't have Ben there, that's when she starts slipping further down. And it almost would seem like maybe she wasn't really married to Lewis, that her brain couldn't comprehend the relationship aspect of that. And so she ultimately really doesn't know where to go. And then when Ben, she hears Ben talking about left on her husband, all this other stuff, Ben becomes the hero. When Lewis is tied up, it's her mind basically trying to get rid of him so where she can be in a safety spot with Ben, and then something happens to draw her further down the well, or the rabbit hole, if you want. Like I said, this is all a theory, but it's stuff I want to think about, and was thinking about because there's all this information we perceive. So maybe, like Clark, for example, was somebody in the hospital that was this paranoid nut. Um, and it could have been a wife who lost her husband. She had, she had a nervous breakdown or whatever. It's really how you perceive it. I don't know. I could be wrong. Let me know what you guys think. I'll talk to you later. Take care. Bye.